Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Erev Shabbos Kodesh, Parshat tetzave. Very exciting. It's not often that you kind of hear something that kind of changes your perspective on an entire parsha. Those people who know me that know that Baloscha, my favorite Torah, Rav Soloveitchik, Baloscha, totally a game changer to change really the whole parsha, what Baloscha is. And I believe the Pri Tzaddik does the same thing with Parshat tetzave, which until a couple days ago, okay, Birkus Kahuna, Ketores, fantastic. The whole approach of tetzave really has a very interesting change, at least in my mind, the Pri Tzaddik brings down. He contrasts this with Truma. Parshas Truma, all the people are supposed to be part of this. The Asu, Shulchan, Asu Aaron, all the people donate, they're all together in the Mishkan. When it comes to this parsha, it's Moshe telling just Aaron to do something. Ata tedaber al Aaron, he's supposed to do the menorah, he's Ketores, he's Bigdei Kahuna. So things change a bit. And why is that? What's the difference? So the Pri Tzaddik says that Truma is a quote-unquote before Egel event, and the Tetzave is kind of an after Egel event. Before the Egel, all the Jewish people were really able to do work in the Mishkan. We know that before the Egel, the Bechorim was supposed to work, so people were supposed to be able to work in the Mishkan. After the Egel, it's only Aaron HaKohen. So what changed? What's going on here? And the Baal Turim also brings down that this is the week that Moshe is not mentioned in the Torah. But V'ata tedaber, he's all over the place, but in a hinting way. He's the one that's supposed to speak to Aaron. So the Pri Tzaddik says that the change was Moshe himself. That there are two areas where Moshe uses his anivas to kind of do something that wasn't proper, wasn't correct perhaps. One is when he takes the Erev Rav out of Mitzrayim. We know in Kisisa, Sheiches Amcha. Hashem says to Moshe, your nation messed things up. Your nation, what? Moshe insisted on bringing the Erev Rav up. Listen, I keep the Torah. Everyone who wants to be close to Hashem should be able to keep the Torah. Erev Rav comes out. Unfortunately, the Erev Rav is the one that causes the people to do the sin at the Egel. Also know that Moshe is the one to defer to Aaron in Parshas Shmos. So this anava that Moshe had, this deferring role, causes things to happen. And the Pri Tzaddik says this is what actually caused Moshe to be out of the parsha, and to cause Aaron to be now the Kohen Gadol. It's through Moshe's actions. And that's why this parsha is focusing only on Aaron HaKohen. Aaron does the menorah, Aaron's Bigdei Kahuna, and Aaron does the Ketores. Three things that are really relegated only to Aaron HaKohen, to his sons. But what's interesting is the Pri Tzaddik says it's only Biad Moshe. Hashem could have really told Aaron these things, just like Hashem tells Aaron directly not to drink wine later in the Torah. Why couldn't Hashem just tell Aaron do these things? But no, the point is, this new change is Moshe now is the spokesperson of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Torah giver, and it's Aaron to kind of do the work to be Makar of the people. There's a mashal that brings down that the king marries someone and can't have children, so the bride is supposed to find someone to help the bride, to be the second wife. And this is kind of what the role of Moshe and Aaron were. Moshe was the role to help the Chatan, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem's spokesperson, Hashem's shliach, Hashem's messenger, and the one to help the Kala, the Jewish people, is Aaron HaKohen, which is why the three things that in this parsha are menorah. Menorah symbolizes Torah Sheba'al Peh, that Moshe was the Aaron, Torah Sheba'al the Shoresh of Hashem, and Aaron was to spread the light. That's the job of a Kohen, and the Leviim is to spread the light of Torah, Kohen. And the mitzvah at the end of the parsha, Ketores. You never noticed why Mizbeach Ketores is not in Truma. I remember like 12, 13 years ago, I brought my picture book of the Mishkan to Shul Truma,
and I'm waiting for them to kind of read the Mizbeach Torah. I'm like, that's weird. Mizbeach Torah is not in Truma, and yeah, it's not. It's not there. And the Ramban picks that up. Why all the Kalim are in Truma except for the Mizbeach Torah. And the Pritzalik says Mizbeach Torah, and the Ramban says as well, is a different job. Mizbeach Torah. Mizbeach Torah is to bring the people, even the Chotim, back to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Even those people who weren't saved, and they do regular karbanos, even the people that aren't doing what they're supposed to do, and they don't learn Torah, and all these things they don't do, Mizbeach Torah is the last piece that says, even if you're Chotim, you'll smell good at the end. We know that one of the 11 spices was the chelbana, didn't smell good. And the Gemara in Tainus says that every Tainus has to have the Chotim. There has to be at least some sinners in this Tainus, or else it's not really a proper tefillah, not proper Tainus. And the Ketoris is exactly that. There's one that doesn't smell good, but when you mix it with the other 10, it smells good. And that's the job of Aaron HaKohen. The job of Aaron HaKohen is to bring Torah to the people. And even if people don't want to learn Torah, even if people are averos and they're sinners, we don't shun them away. We're bringing them to the Torah. We bring them, and that's Aaron's job. Aaron's job is to love everybody. It doesn't matter. A lot of averos, little averos, not any mitzvos, nothing. At some point, they're going to smell good. They're never going to be pushed away. We said the other parsha, Nidach Umen Nigach, the wise woman of Tekoa, never pushed away. And that's the job of this relationship of Moshe and Aaron, that Aaron was going to be the one to bring the Torah and to bring the people to Hashem, but it's only Biad Moshe. And Moshe was Moshe Nefesh. And it's not a Genai, Priest Alex says, it's a Shvach. That Moshe takes his ego away, takes his own legacy away, and I'm just going to be the spokesperson of Hashem. And it's only through the power of Moshe, the words of Moshe, that Aaron can get to this great spot and this great leadership area to help the people out. Shabbat Shalom.